Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode. Welcome to a new episode of Keeping It Unfiltered. Today is episode 21, and we are discussing what it means to stay in your lane. Now, before I get into that, I'm sure you guys can see that I'm in a different location. I'm gonna do a little, show you guys a little bit. Okay. Now you can't see the water from over here, but it's a little something, and hopefully I do a little bit of vlogging. Oh my gosh.
Hey guys, I know y'all want to see me on this channel, and soon to be, I will be on this channel. Thank you. Bye guys.
Everyone has hopes and dreams. I just noticed when I told you guys that I was somewhere else, I didn't mention I am in Jamaica. So yeah, it's one of my favorite vacation spots. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok to see more content and things like that. And I should be uploading some reels. And I'm sorry if I'm squinting, y'all. The sun is beaming out here. It's hot out here. All of that stuff. But anyways, back into the video. Let's just first define staying in your lane. Staying in your lane means that you're doing things like living in your means. You are worried about yourself. You're not trying to do what the next person is going to do, and you know your purpose. I think that is most important to figure out what your purpose is or what your goal is in life in order to successfully stay in your lane. Let's start off talking about you're not worried about what the next person is doing. It's the dating pool, for example. Like, you have those people that you consider that are corny, or you consider that are bums, or you consider not on your level. Instead of talking so much trash about them, I don't understand why you just don't date them. Like, you don't have to sit there and speak on them all day, or like, say if you see a post about something where a guy may be doing what you call too much for a female, or guys, if you consider another guy to be corny or a simp, I don't get why you have to sit there and say, oh, he's a simp, oh, he's doing this, oh, he's doing that. That is another example of minding business that's not yours. What exactly does that have to do with you? The way you treat your woman, your partner, in your life is completely irrelevant. The way you act with your partner or the way you treat your partner is completely different than how that other person deals with their partner. So I don't understand your concern. And I have an odd thing to bring up too. Like, staying in your lane isn't just like in your life. It can even be like staying in your lane when it comes to viewing people's content. And this, I guess, goes along with watch who you get your advice from. And I say that because there's these relationship gurus out here, or these people speaking on topics that don't even relate to you. And y'all are just grabbing whatever you believe is relevant to you and you're applying it to your life. Okay, someone who believes in polygamy and you don't even believe in polygamy, but you just heard them talk about something and now you completely agree with what they say. You swear up and down like this is the best person that everyone should listen to. Do your research, okay? Don't be everyone else out here just following the advice that they're taking from these relationship gurus or these influencers, whatever they want to call themselves. You know, you got to make sure that you have a credible source. And I feel like that's the same with a degree. That goes into saying how people would just major in anything because they seen the person next to them do it, or they seen someone they believe relates to them do it. You guys can be two totally different people and want two totally different things outside of life. Also, just because you see some people may be successful in something, that does not mean that's for you. And I guess finding your purpose just aligns with what exactly do you like to do. Not what do you like to do to please other people. Not what do you like to do just because of money per se. Like, of course, money should play a role in whatever you're doing or whatever you decide to pursue in life. And it's sad to say, but it's true that our life operates on money. We need to pay for things, so that is important. However, don't sit there and let, okay, I want to be an influencer because I want to make lots of money. If you're not into it, I'm not saying that you can't make money at all, but it's like you're just doing it because the next person is doing it. That goes into people who trying to pick up a hobby. Now you want to do lashes because you know it's a lot of money in lashes, but you never even cared about lashes in the first place. Now you want to do hair because you feel like there's a lot of money in hair. You don't even know how to do hair. Like, these are things that just don't make sense to me, and I just feel like people are pulling it out of their rear end and trying to run with it because they're trying to be in somebody else's lane. I'm always going to root for everyone to sit there and go make their money, get as much money as they can. If you're not passionate about it, the product is probably going to be poor most of the time. I know some people are thinking, like, what's the big deal of chasing a dollar? Like, okay, I seen the next person do it, and I know they made a lot of money. And that's why I'm like, honestly, it might not be that bad for many people. Only because you might make some money. However, there's been so many times where I've seen people trying to hop on the bandwagon and they lose out on money, which is obviously a given. So if you are magically trying to do hair, now you're buying all this hair products. Now you want to start a clothing line. Now you're investing into this clothing line that you really don't even have a passion for. And then you are not consistent. So to be honest, you're setting yourself up to fail for your next business, in my personal opinion. Because with me, I usually put my business with someone who I see is consistent. If you're not consistently doing hair, I just go to my local nail salon for my nails. But if you're not consistently doing nails, if you're not consistently doing lashes, me, along with a lot of other people, and I don't do lashes, but I know a lot of people like to see, okay, let me see their work. Let me see how often they're doing this to build up their credibility. If you're not consistent with that one thing that you said that you're going to go ahead and do, then why do I think that you're going to be consistent enough to start something else? And maybe when you finally sit down and say, okay, look, this is something that I have a passion for and I'm going to put my back into, and you start building up your credibility, that's what's going to work for you. But if you're just going to sit here and keep trying to start business after business and not even be consistent with it, now you're risking your future clientele or your possible clientele. Huge risk when it comes to starting something that's not in your lane. Honestly, a lot of people can say that money is the biggest factor in this situation, but I think it's time. You wasting time learning how to do something that you don't really care to do, but think about how you're kind of setting yourself back in life. You're sitting there trying to probably take in some classes, you're trying to figure out the easiest way possible to make it through, and you're not taking the courses that you should take or doing the amount of practice that you should be doing. Patience is definitely a virtue, and I feel like trying to explore what you like to do specifically for yourself is what's going to help you the most. And sad to say, I feel like this goes with a lot of people who are in school and wind up being in school for years because they started off just doing what they think would look best for the next person or doing what they felt like looked good on paper, knowing that you're not going to put your best foot forth. To give y'all an example, I know me, if I would have went to school for biology, y'all, I still would be in school. I am not good at all at any form of science. It's just not for me. I would have really had to put my back into it to make sure I passed with the grades needed to move on to the next level. Some people may go into college to be a biologist or nursing or something like that and don't even realize how much work it actually requires you to make that specific amount of money. So now you don't pursue that degree. Now you're like me, someone who doesn't know how to do hair, nails, or lashes, and you can't just fall back on that. So now you catch yourself in school all over again. Another 4 years. And then you're like, okay, well, that didn't really work out. So now maybe midway in school, you're changing your degree. Now you're adding on another 2 years. You're just spending so much time during this time, you're also going into more debt because you've taken out more loans. And this is all because you don't know what your passion is and or your goal is at the end of the day. I feel like before you start anything, think of your goal or at least know that you personally really want to do that or you really want to be in that lane. And for the people that are out there making it seem like other people are weird, corny, that people aren't talking about sex, drugs, and money all day or going out here wearing their pants below their waist, you're weird. They might just be riding around with a regular car. Windows may not be tinted. Me personally, I don't really care about that stuff. Like, I don't want everybody in my business, but now it's just certain things that y'all have a standard for is really just to fit in with the next person. Y'all think it looks so cool. Y'all think that's everybody's thing. You think that you look cool if you got tinted windows, so that's something that you want to do. Like, you don't even got the money for it. And to me, I feel like if you're going out here trying to do things that are outside of you, that goes into, I know this is kind of like a venting session, but I'm literally coming up with these things like as I'm speaking, and I'm thinking about how people try to be the next influencer. You try to sit there and travel, but you don't even have the funds to travel. And I get the fake it till you make it. That's definitely a thing. But you got to make sure your content is coming too. If you're going to sit there and fake it till you make it, like, at least have that going on. You're not even consistent with that because that's not something that you really want to do. You want to do it because it look cool. But that's where it stops at. Just like the people that are flying to Miami with only $200-something. Do y'all know how expensive Miami is? Florida in general is, like, it's expensive. So you're trying to do all this and have the look and whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, it's not your lane. It's completely above your means. And I get that you may take a little loss. You may have to put some investing when it does come time to you doing something for you and investing in yourself. I get that. But if you know that you're just trying to do this because you've seen other people do it and you see everybody else in Miami and you think it's so cool or whatever, and you don't really got the funds for it, that's not your lane. That's you trying to fit into someone else's lane. It goes into the girlies that's trying to wear what everybody else is trying to wear. I believe I touched on that before. Same with the guys. You're trying to buy all this designer, but you don't have the funds at the end of the day. That is not your lane. And don't get me started on the people that's literally living in their parents' household, but buying chargers. Why does that make sense to y'all? Even if you're renting a charger, do y'all know how much money those things cost? Like, what is going on with y'all? I'm confused. You want to fit into that? That's not your lane, babe. And it doesn't make you look cool. And I know you're trying to impress girls, but you're going to impress the wrong type of females. You're going to impress the money grabbers, or you're going to attract a girl that, to be honest, she probably don't even have nothing going on for herself. And she trying to live off you whole time. You don't even really got it like that. And now she got these expectations. Or if you do attract some girl that's so-called, you know, on the standard level as far as, like, she got her own job, got her own money, got her own vehicle, don't even got to be a real fancy one. And to be honest, ladies, if you are on your stuff and you run into somebody who's clearly not on their stuff, but they're just flexing to look good, you personally know that that's not what they're about and they're doing things for show, and you decide to stick with them, that's on you. There's too many times where people are dealing with people and they know their initial situation, or they know that they're just flexing, or they know they pretending to have it all together and still wind up dealing with them anyway just because they look good, you know, at face value. It's not even on paper, because if you do on paper, you probably realize, oh snap, like, you really ain't got the coins. And then expect things out of them. We can't expect things out of people who really don't even have it in the first place. And that's why you shouldn't even be doing that either, just trying to look at the physical. However, when you write it down on paper, everybody looking like, huh? Or if you write it down on paper, you realize that you're not consistent in what you're trying to keep up with. You're trying to keep up with, like I said, the influencers and the way these people are out here, but you don't have it together in real life. All in all, staying in your lane is just minding your business and then making sure that at the end of the day, you got some information to back it up, or you're able to talk about your credibility of where you're getting your information from, or why you're a credible source yourself, or how you're consistent, how you're remaining consistent. So make sure that if you choose to go into another lane, that you're doing it because that's something that you really want to do yourself. That's something that you're passionate about. You're not trying to sit here and live someone else's life, because if you decide to go in that lane, you are wasting time, money, and resources, and we don't have the time for that. So yeah, that was that for this video. Thank you so much for watching. My brother's there being annoying. Please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And yeah, I know this one was short today, but that's because I'm going to be giving y'all a little more content. Stay tuned to see more of the vacation and things going on. And I got a few special guests coming up for next week, and that's the reason why I did not post the topics. So yeah, that's that. See you next Thursday.